Hi, Pile One. My name is Chriselle with Psychic MD, and we will be doing a quick and dirty read on your first impression, the impression that you make upon others when they first meet you, see you, stalk you, whatever the case may be. For you repeat offenders, I want to thank you so much for stopping in. And for those of you that are brand new or just happen to stop by occasionally, welcome, welcome. I hope everyone finds exactly what it is that you're seeking. So I'll be using a couple of different decks. The first one we're going to use is the Mystical Moments Tarot. All right, so for pile number one, show me what I need to see. Hi, a nice jumper. Show me what I need to see for pile number one. How do people view pile number one? Show me what I need to see and show me now. So I've got the jumper in my lap because I had no choice. And first out of the back cage was the Tower. But this came up reversed. Okay. Second card up we have is the Ten of Cups. Wow. That's complete opposite, isn't it? So right off the bat here, I'm going to say that people feel like you don't let go of things easily, that you are definitely someone who thinks a lot, that you're always thinking of solutions. Perhaps they would describe you as somebody always in their head because of this person's inability to allow that tower to fall. I would also say that people view you as somehow, I don't know how they would know this just by seeing you, but here we go, and perhaps being overcommitted. Even when you see the entire house like being exploding, there's the sense of not only I want to hold on to it, but you don't forget. You don't forget easily. So once again, I'm being led to feel that you are definitely somebody that clings on to relationships. Maybe not cling is the right word, but perhaps you hang on to relationships long after they've been ripe, long after their expiration date. You could be somebody that really is in touch with memories and you can recall them vividly, or yeah, there's a certain amount of fondness. And you know what, actually, this is making me feel also that perhaps you are someone that when things are crumbling around other people, that you want to come in and help fix it. And I know that that's a little bit ambitious. So I'm not saying that you're like, oh, your house exploded, let me put everything in order again. I think that perhaps you're one of those people that's a fixer by nature, and you tend to be the go-to person that really helps people try to hold it together in some ways. And so once again, how people would know that, we're going to get into it a little bit more. Right next to us we have the Ten of Cups. So I feel like this is saying that you're definitely somebody who goes after emotional gratification. I feel like also people say that people say about you that there's so much more beneath the surface that is even evident. And yes, you may have beautiful hair, and yes, you may be beautiful eye candy or arm candy, as they put it. But I also think that you are someone who is a little bit dreamy. In spite of where she is, it seems like this water's a little bit murky, and I think they're supposed to be in the middle of an ocean, but it feels kind of swampy to me. It's got swampy vibes. So you could be right in the middle of situations that are like not so great, and yet your mind is elevated, your heart is elevated, and you're still hopeful. You're still hoping to have perhaps even wanting to renew relationships that are long gone or resurrect them. I think that you have an optimism, a way of bringing people into a different mindset to appreciate like what they have, where they're at. And I think that's really unusual about you. I'm going to say that. And also I feel like people would say about you that you're incredibly abundant. That you're so much deeper than what you appear to be. And I don't think that you typically give people the time of the day. Now I'm looking at these windows right here. And I also feel like people, because this was in reverse, I feel like they often think that they missed their window of opportunity with you. Like if they just saw you at the store, they're like, damn, why didn't I approach her or him or whatever? It's like I missed my chance. They seem kind of intriguing. I feel like you could be very earthy, very grounded, perhaps even very family oriented. Show me why the Tower reversed is here for how we see pile number 1, please. Quick and dirty read. Pile number 1, why is this Tower reversed here? What is it that the first impression leads us to believe these things? Show me now. It's funny because I had seen this before and I just decided to do a shuffle and not take the bottom of the deck, but here we are. So 2 swords, stalemate. So you are somebody who, again, I feel like you value close relationships, and then it could really appear that you're somebody who's really quite pensive, maybe even self-protective. I'm looking at the body language here, how her arms are kind of crossed over her chest and appearing to hold her chin here. And so that could be a little bit of even like posturing, posing, for lack of a better way of putting it. Blocking the heart chakra, but somebody who definitely takes her time to really consider, to think before they act or react, and maybe even somebody who is, yeah, just a lot of thought, deep thinker, I'm gonna say, and a lot of emotion too, a lot of emotion. All right, what's the 10 of Cups here for how we see pile number 1? First impressions for pile number 1. Please clarify the 10 of Cups, please, and show me now. All right, so the Lovers, so it could appear, it seems like you almost like have a choice that you need to make or something like that. So I would say that people instinctively get the feeling that you don't speak a lot, you tend to keep things to yourself. And maybe you're somebody that has a lot of opportunities, or perhaps people think that you might be a little bit of a player, or that you have a lot of options regarding like romance and things like that. Even if you are married, connected, or otherwise taken, it doesn't make a difference. This is just first impressions. All right, please clarify the 2 of Swords for pile number 1, please. Why is the 2 of Swords here? Clarifying the Tower reverse for pile number 1, first impressions. Show me now. 9 of Wands. I'm laughing because look. So this person's like defending their home, their house. Okay. And this tower, this home, this house is crumbling. But not only is it crumbling, you're kind of like banging your head against the ground, trying to keep things under wraps or trying to keep it together. I'm not entirely sure. I'm seeing a ton of like even beyond. There's a lot of nebulous clouds. A lot of clouds as well. So maybe people can think that you have your head in the clouds. Maybe you tend to be like a hopeless romantic, things like that. But you could also be like very defensive, almost like kind of don't mess with me energy is what I'm getting. So you could be a little bit intimidating, very protective of your home, whatever that represents to you, whether it's your actual home or the people that are close to you, your tribe that you call home. I feel like you're kind of like, all right, you know, oh, you know what? And people say that you have really good self-esteem as well, that you are committed even beyond what you need to be committed to. So people that actually know you would say you stuck around for too long, kind of a thing. But people, when they first meet you, instinctively know that you have like a high self-esteem, and that maybe you're even a little aggressive. Maybe you're kind of like, what? Now, I resemble that remark. I don't know why I do this, but I can actually go places, and if people are looking at me, I'll give them the, like, what the hell look, you know? It's a knee-jerk reaction. It's not nice. I'm not saying that is a good thing, but here we are. All right. So, show me what I need to see. Why is the Lovers here for our first impressions of pile number 1, please? Pile number 1, first impressions, quick and dirty, show me now. We have the 3 of Wands along with the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so this could be, you know what, I'm going to say about you that people understand that you're not desperate, that you have something in mind, obviously, a lot of things in mind. You're focused, and maybe you're even focused on your stability, and nothing less will do. Now, with the 3 of Wands here, this is kind of interesting. I never noticed that the actual little signs, these cards are so freaking bomb, you guys. Anyways, so she's got a lot of baggage here. So maybe people think that you have a lot of baggage because you can be a little bit aggressive or on the defensive side, but also that you're really focused on your stability. And I'm seeing this little horse and wagon buggy coming toward, presumably to pick her up. She's trying to flag them down. So I don't know. That could be a little bit like, if you approach me correctly, then yeah, maybe we can go here, we can go there. With the Knight of Pentacles here, I would say that people understand that they would need to proceed with caution. If you had a label, it would be proceed with caution, okay? And that is not a bad thing. I just think that people don't take you lightly. They knew instinctively that you're a force to contend with. But they always want to think about how to tackle that. All right. The last message is for the Knight of Pentacles. Why is this here? For how we view pile number 1. Show me now. Judgment. So I feel like people you may have like a really deep attachment or interest to like taxidermy or true crime stories or any of those types of genres. You may also be somebody who has really good judgment. So I feel like you tend to kind of weigh situations out, really think it through before you, quote, pull the trigger, unquote. Yeah, before you take a chance. So yeah, nobody's necessarily in their right mind going to come towards you and be like, oh, hey, blah, blah. They know that the water's run really deep. Handle with care, be cautious, and that is definitely not a bad thing. I think that people think that you are incredibly intelligent, beautiful, incredibly discerning. I feel like very desirable as well, but they're a little bit surprised at how maybe aggressive or standoffish you can be. But the most shocking of all is when they do get to know you, is how deep you are and how loving and kind that you can be, and how you just naturally form alliance with people, like I'm on your side, I'm here for you type of thing. So that is what I have. If you like this kind of reading, smash that like button, share, comment, subscribe. Much love to you. Namaste. Hi, pile number 2. If you chose pile number 2, this message is for you. My name is Griselda Psychic MD, and I'm going to be doing it quick and dirty, all about how people view you, their first impressions of you, basically. So for you repeat offenders, thank you so much for stopping in. And for those of you that are brand new or stop by simply occasionally, I want to thank you as well for stopping in. Now, obviously, we already got the jumper card. Oh my gosh, I am totally burning the house down. Can we do this and not burn the life out of me? Maybe. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, sorry about that, but as you saw, we had a hazard, and so the worst has happened. I probably burned my desk. Oh well. But anyways, we do have the Chariot, so people can say about you that, because that one came up as a jumper, and all of a sudden, yeah, I had an incense crisis. So perhaps people are saying when they initially meet you that you appear to be really fast, or like you're super hot, or too hot to handle. Also, I wound up picking my incense up during our brief intermission that you did not experience. And people can think that you're a little bit premeditated, almost like you kind of plan things, very strategic, that kind of an idea. So we're going to leave this here. That's what I actually picked up the incense with, by the telltale sign. Anyway, so that is two things right off the bat. And yeah, that you can even be hasty, like jump the gun. Maybe perhaps you like to kind of like travel or push people beyond what they are prepared to do. Okay. So what other messages do we have? Oh my gosh, I am not even kidding you guys. For pile number 2, I don't even know who you are, but I don't know if you like to drive fast, or the image of you is that you like to drive fast, and that perhaps this is temperance. It came out on its side. So this is telling me that people view you as a little bit topsy-turvy, like you're balanced, then you're not, then you're balanced, then you're not. And it has a lot to do with like your security. And by that, what I mean was that red umbrella, or that shade, to me really talks a lot about your root chakra. So you could be at any given time very balanced. Like, let's say you're at a grocery store and you're kind of like, okay, waiting in line, and maybe you're just a little bit like looking at your watch, texting, kind of fidgeting, and kind of looking around to see if other lanes are open just so you can move faster. And that energetically gives off a vibe that I'm like, the hell with this, I need to get going. Get me out of here. And yet by the same token, you could go to the same store and on another day and just be appearing like seemingly lost in thought, and there could be like 3 other lanes open and you're waiting in line for basically no reason. So people don't really actually know what to expect of you. I also feel like I'm looking at her mouth, okay? I don't think that you're somebody who's a talker. You're somebody of action. Like, you're a little bit like, watch me move. Watch me move. And this person's at like a snail's pace with the snail, of course. And I think that you think that you're moving at a snail's pace, but when people look up, you're like out of sight and kind of doing something entirely different. So once again, it's that energy of people can just sense from you. Maybe it's your attire, maybe it's your haircut, maybe it's the way that you talk. Maybe you talk really fast, and that's an indication of like fast movement. Maybe your eyes are a little bit dirty or whatever. I don't think that is the case, but maybe. And that would really suggest that you're constantly, oh, that's what it is, that you're constantly looking, you know, not for a way out, but just to get moving. Like you have a hard time sitting still, standing still, that kind of a thing. Now, one thing that I will say with the Chariot and just these serious looks, I feel like you could be perceived as someone who's always looking for a way out. Like you don't want to be tied down. You have a lot on your mind, and that's being carried and amplified by this little kind of conch shell hairdo thingamajig. And I also feel like people can even sense that maybe even your clairaudient, like if they're thinking things, or, you know, maybe even like telepathic, because when they're thinking things, maybe you kind of like jerk and like look at them all of a sudden, and they could be like, what the hell, did you hear that? Like, so if anybody's thinking like dirty thoughts about you or whatever, you might just suddenly look at them and they might be in for quite a shock of thinking, well, maybe, you know, he or she heard, or how's that possible? And the reaction might be like, I got caught red-handed. So you might be somebody who frequently catches people looking at you, even though you're kind of rushing about. If you glance up there, it's like 1, 2, 3, all eyes on me, that kind of a thing. And again, it's at snail's pace. I feel like you think that things move so slow, and you're kind of, you would be a really good chess player. So you may play chess or not. But even if you don't, I feel like you're a great kind of like, you see the beginning and then the end result immediately. And then you start thinking, okay, the steps to take, it would require this or that, and you're already like there. Now, with the temperance and this falling on side, I feel like in the 2 birds, like one presumably leaving her hand and the other one sitting on her hand, and because it was sideways, I'm going to say that people see you as balanced and then not balanced. It's like extreme. I feel like you're an extremist. It's like, let's go fast, but I'm riding a snail. Let's be tempered, let's be balanced, but then I'm like, you know, that kind of an energy. And I do feel like you are silent about whatever it is that you undergo or what it is that you are thinking. Like this her dress is transparent, and it seems like nobody knows where you're going, where you're headed. Like, are your legs moving? Are you sitting? Are you crouching? Do you even have feet? Do you even have legs? What's going on? But the next thing you know, you're like en route. And yeah, that's the feeling I'm getting. So show me what I need to see for pile number 2, quick and dirty. What is the first impression that we get? Show me now. And I feel like this is more than just first impression. 6 of Cups. Okay. When people look at you, I feel like they'll look at you with a longing, with a yearning, kind of like, I used to know her, I used to know him, or you remind me of someone I used to know. You know that song, Someone I Used to Know? I'm not going to sing it for you. You're welcome. But this could be even putting people a little bit in a lull and a daydream with the 6 of Cups. And I think it puts people in a spot of feeling nostalgic, okay? Feeling a bit nostalgic. For pile number 2, why is the Chariot here? With the Temperance sideways, please. For first impressions, what people think or assume about you when they first meet you. Show me now. And then also with this, again, just to you know, the cherry of the incense kind of fell and burned my desk. I will sob later, but it's like you're definitely too hot to handle. Like I feel like maybe even physically too hot to handle, or mentally, or combination thereof. Okay, and that you're an extremist, so there is no moderation with you. I can't even spell that word. So 6 of Cups. Let's see. Okay, for the High Priestess. So I feel like also intuitively you have a good ability to read, and not only like premeditate, but understand people's moves, like why people do things, how they act, whatever. I think that you're a quick study, you make quick assessments, and then you're like, next, kind of keep it moving. And yeah, I just see like how peaceful this scene is. Never mind the smog. And then this person laying on the ground. So you might be like really, really earthy and not at all what people presume when they first meet you. Also, for some of you, don't be pissed off at me, okay? But for some of you, pile number 2, some people can presume that you're fast. In that kind of a way. Okay, but definitely once they get to know you, they know that to be far from true. All right, pile number 2, what do people think when they first meet you? Pile number 2, why is the 6 of Cups here? Show me now. Okay, Strength. So I think people think that you are a force to contend with, which obviously, I mean, with these cards on the table, the level of extremism, but I also feel like people think that you are extremely poised when you want to. You'll give good eye contact. You're kind of fearless in so many different ways. I feel like also you're extremely independent, and that's evident by how you walk, how you talk. If you take time to bestow a glance or a gaze, it's somebody that you just happen to meet. I also feel like they are a little bit entrapped by your eyes. Like, above all, what stands out here is your eyes, your sexiness, attractiveness. I heard lust. So you might cause a lot of people to lust and get into pure fantasy over you when you walk by or when they first meet you, that kind of a thing. But also I'm looking at the lion's teeth, and it's also saying that oh my God, I hate this term. Okay, listen. I used to work I used to have a doctor. I used to work with a doctor, and he would tell me that I was a man eater, and that would just really piss me off, because this man did not know me outside of my job. But I feel like perhaps he assumed, maybe it was a red lipstick, maybe my attire, I don't know, my demeanor, whatever, that that's how I was or am, or whatever the case may be. But he would definitely be like, he would start singing, she's a man eater, and I'm like, I want to punch you in the face. I'm going to show you how. Yeah, so you could be a little bit excitable, very direct, kind of wild and tameable. And I think that people are really attracted to that. Last messages. Oh, hi. For pile number 2, quick and dirty. Show me what I need to see. What's the Six of Cups here? When people first meet you, and show me now. So I guess we will take all of these. Holy moly. Super intelligent. Yeah, so they're saying about you they're super intelligent, that you rule with an iron fist and iron grip. Also that you have a really big heart, but you don't deceive yourself. It's like you see things for what it is. If it ain't going to grow, it's got to go. Okay, I think that you being that astute, they know that you'll straight chop it down, that kind of a thing. You have kind of queen vibes. Oh my gosh, I didn't even go here. Okay, and with the High Priestess, I feel like this is she who knows. This is, again, like you can really mind read or understand. People are afraid, a little bit afraid of you, that you can kind of know their secrets. And it's almost like I'm looking at this, and it's almost like there's a vault in here, like you're sitting on a vault. But I feel like once again, with this scroll up here, it's almost like you are so connected to the divine, and they just assume that. I don't know how. I think it's how you look, how you carry yourself, and how you make like snap judgments. And the thing is that you're 99% right. Okay, with the moon, you're extremely mysterious. They don't know if you're friend or foe. They don't know what it is that's going on behind those gorgeous eyes. You may have dark eyes, you may have really big eyes, but you keep your lips shut. The High Priestess does. The moon, she definitely does. And I also feel like people think that you have an incredible grasp on wild, the things of wild, like not only your wildness, but other people's wildness. You understand who is loyal, and who is a coyote, okay? Who's not, basically. So 10 of Cups, I feel like people also fantasize about having like a home with you, or being a partner, like your partner having, like having a family. And so it's like, what would it be like if I were actually to attract the wild thing and be able to kind of keep her or have her, or that kind of a thing. But it's like you've learned, very self-contained, self-aware. Here we have the Chariot for a second time. You cannot make this up, you guys. So definitely people see that you are fast acting, fast moving. Maybe you're always on the move. You don't sit still for any length of time. And the Nine of Swords, it's like you want the truth and nothing but the truth, or I will cut me a mother lover. Okay. And the reason for that is that people intuitively understand, I don't think that logically they do initially, is that this has to do with your security. You want to get to the root of it because it affects your security. Just the same way this umbrella is talking about security is on your mind, and you can be very changeable. So anything that threatens or rocks your security, you're not going to have. You're cutting that out and you're moving on. So that is what I have for you. Those are really deep messages. If you like this kind of reading, smash the like button. If it resonated, share, comment, subscribe. Much love to you. Namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your pick a card reading, pile number 3. If you chose pile number 3, this is your reading. We had a couple of hazards on the set. It's really a set, it's just my desk, but hey, call it what I want, right? And anyways, pile number 3. For you repeat offenders, thank you so much for coming back and seeing what is going on. And for those of you that are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. Hope all of you find exactly what it is that you're seeking. We have the Seven of Swords jumping out. So for what people think about you when they first meet you, is that you keep a lot to yourself. You're not necessarily outwardly expressive. You are a nurturer. I also feel like perhaps people can think that you have many secrets. And maybe you camouflage quite a bit. Like what you see is not what you get. I also feel like you protect what it is that you think about, your thoughts basically. Show me what I need to see. What do we notice when we first meet? Pile number 3. Show me now. The Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like even right out of the gate, the first thing that we notice is that maybe you're very earthy, maybe a little bit closed off. Even if you have a family or you're with people, you might seem to be deep within your own thoughts. And also I feel like that you're very much an individual, that somehow you find a way, or that you simply have this air about you that you're separate from everybody else, and that you're quick to want to do things on your own. This is what the Seven of Swords is giving me vibes of the lone wolf. I do things by myself. I tend to my own garden. Take that however you will. You're welcome. I make things grow, but I don't tell people anything about like how I do, what I'm thinking, none of that. I'm like very, very private, very closed off. I keep things close to my heart, even closer and well protected. People may also sense that you have a lot going on for you, like maybe even a little nest egg, or a little nest egg of ideas of things that you are in the process of creating, in the process of blooming. They want to know like what it is about you. Like you could be somebody that looks very creative, but also not somebody that anybody can lock down, like very independent. It's almost like, hey, where's so-and-so? Oh, they're, you know, out hiking the Himalayas. With who? All by themselves. What? That kind of thing. All right. So for the Knight of Pentacles, you could be somebody that really takes their time. You are methodical. You think things through before there's any movement whatsoever. And I also feel like you're somebody that likes to really dress well. And once again, there are two different hats on here. So maybe you're somebody that wears many different hats throughout your lifetime. Of course, we would not know that if we just encountered you, but here we are. Show me what I need to see. For pile number 3, what's the Seven of Swords here? When we first meet you, what is the first impressions? I feel like also you look like you smell good. You smell good, very fragrant, very alluring, almost like a siren vibe, okay? Or a merman, whatever you want to be. Show me what I need to see for the Seven of Swords. Why is this here? Why is this Knight of Pentacles here for how we see pile number 3? Our first impression when we meet pile number 3. Show me now. Okay. So you could also have a link, I think it was to pile number 1, in fact. You could make permanent judgments against people. You know what? I'm getting the feeling almost like you, okay, don't kill the messenger, but I almost feel like people think that maybe you think that you're better than, okay? So maybe when people meet you, it's like your attitude is like, you're dead to me. You're dead to me, you don't exist, or I'm not even looking at you, or like you're not engaged with the rest of the clan. So if you're at a party, you're kind of like in your own head, somehow separate. And then with the Ten of Swords, I feel like also people about you can feel that people gossip about you a lot. And maybe perhaps that's why you separate yourself until you know how things are going to go, how things are going to work out. I feel like people can see perhaps on your face maybe that you definitely protect your heart, that you have been through a lot of different situations, and maybe, and I know that it's like, how would you know that? Just by meeting somebody. But I also feel like sometimes you can actually see, I want to call it the etching on people's faces. Like you can actually see when people have been through something or been through a lot of some things. You can see almost like grief lines on their face or frown lines. I'm not saying that you have those, but perhaps you do. And that's something that people notice about you. It's almost like you have a look that you're thinking of something that makes you really sad. Okay, I'm not sure why, but that's what I'm getting so far. Show me what I need to see. For pile number 3, what is the first impressions that we get when we first meet you? You could be somebody actually that handles things in unexpected ways. Like if there's a big party and everybody's like, oh, hey, I'm playing the saxophone and doing whatever, and you tend to gravitate towards maybe like the baby that is being ignored because everybody's having drinks and a good time, or the dog that wants to play and everybody's like, yeah, I'm too busy, things like that. You're like definitely into your own world. Show me what I need to see for pile number 3. I think that you just present more of a puzzle than anything. Show me more of what we noticed for pile number 3 when we first meet them, and show me now. Angel of Love. Yeah, very tender, very tender-hearted, very tender, but always kind of like in your own world, thinking things through, thinking about what we don't really know. And I love that this heart is white. I love the way her wings are just incredibly illuminated. I think that you get maybe even perhaps so much in your head that you don't even notice other people around you, people looking at you necessarily. And then I don't know if this is like evident from here, but to me this almost looks like a sun, the way that the folds of her dress is put together. I feel like you might even like to dress in monochromatic colors, things like that. But you know what, with all the pink in here, I feel like you do put out a vibe of love and loss. That's interesting. Very different, very, very different. So that's what I have there. What else do we need to see? Kind of interested in this Ten of Swords. Show me more about what I need to see. Why is the Ten of Swords here? For our first impressions when we first meet, pile number 3. Show me what I need to see, and show me now. The King of Cups. Yeah, that you're extremely deep. A lot of emotion, but that you are self-contained. And maybe even that you have a really tight grip on your emotions because you're somebody that loves deeply. And that's really interesting. I mean, especially for a first vibe, to have that type of energy. Definitely different. Okay, last message of what we noticed about you. Show me what I need to see. For pile number 3, why are these cards here? Specifically the Angel of Love and the King of Cups. Show me now. Oh my gosh. The Nine of Cups. People feel like you are a wish fulfillment, or that you have a wish that you want fulfilled. And again, the King of Cups. Look, it's almost like another piece is missing from you, and you're looking to fill that hole. There, I had to say it that way. Okay, and then your mind tends to cling to things. So maybe that you even have dark thoughts or dark minds, so you might be a little bit edgy but incredibly alluring. And underneath all the edginess and allure in this rock solid mountain of a dress type thing is just somebody that is waiting for the ships to come in, has a lot of emotion, a lot of tenderness. And I think that you handle other people with a lot of tenderness, but maybe you have an exterior that is a little bit of a scared tactic. You might be a little bit like goth. Okay, nothing wrong with that. I personally, I'm all about that. I love it. But again, your thoughts, your mind can be very complicated and appear to be like, wow, this is kind of intense, you know? But that is what I have for you. And if you happen to like this reading, please do give it a like, share, comment, subscribe. And that was it for your quick and dirty pile number 3. Much love to you. Oh, and deep waters, that your emotions go super deep. So that's actually riveting. I think that's extremely alluring. The thing that comes as a surprise is the tenderness that you actually have, okay? So much love to you, and namaste.